We are going to talk about a movie.
This is gonna be a disaster.
It was one of the best movies of the year.
It's gonna go so well. Probably one of the last movies I would ever want to see in a theater.
Hello and welcome to And the Winner Is. I am your host, Jacob Londoner, and I am joined by my wonderful crew, Taylor Robinson. How are you?
I'm great.
And Nick, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
That is awesome. We are unfortunately one crew member short.
I know.
Richard is away today.
Oh, it's not on. The camera's not even on him.
He will be back next week, however, so we will be back and talking next
We need
week.
a cardboard cutout for when
I think
we're missing
Yeah.
somebody.
I think that could be something we do.
The Oscar man himself. So
Yeah, unfortunately we are missing him. However, we will carry on and we will go forward.
show must go on.
Yes. All right. We are today going to be talking about what I think is the second biggest category in the Oscars. I think this is more important than actor and actress. I think this is the second biggest award outside of Best Picture, and that is, of course, Best Director. The director is the most important person on the film set. He or she is in creative control. It is their film. They are the ones. Basically, without them, the film doesn't get made, much to, as you know, studios will try and tell you otherwise, but without them, the film doesn't get made. What do you guys think about more so like the field this year? Do you think it's a strong year? Do you think it's a kind of a mediocre year, or is it a really weak year for you?
I think I'd probably say mediocre to strong, like somewhere between mediocre and strong. It's not necessarily lacking. I think there's a solid number of people that are going to get nominated, and you'll look at it and say, yeah, they all did really great with the films they made this year. But I also don't think that it's an insane competition where, there's a ton of people who are really going to miss out. I think it's kind of right in that sweet spot for me this year.
Yeah, I think I would agree. I think there's a certain level of the spectrum there where we got strong names. We've got big directors this year. We got your Tarantino. We got Scorsese. We got guys who usually aren't in the same year. Batting big at the moment. But some directors are churning out pretty good movies that you can feel like may get into the race. I mean, director we know is 5 nominations. There is never going to be more than 5.
Right.
So to get one of those spots in the 5, you have to have either made one of the best films of the year or have a name big enough to get yourself onto that list.
Right.
And I think that there is going to be some big names this year that do miss out.
Yes.
I think that there is also going to be some very worthy people this year who do miss out.
I agree.
Because it's just, I think that Best Director is one of the hardest categories to predict and basically
if
get
last
nominated
year
for.
taught us anything.
Last year, I mean, everyone and their dog had either Bradley Cooper or Peter Farrelly getting nominated,
And
neither of them did,
got it.
and that's really shocking. And then the director of Cold War getting nominated, which I think was one of the biggest shocks.
Oh God, yeah,
in modern Oscars.
I think so too. Nobody that I know had that anywhere near.
Yeah.
their
Did you
list.
guys watch Cold War?
We
Have you
did.
seen it?
Yes, we did.
I actually really
Deservedly
enjoyed it.
so.
It was,
It was a
so
fantastic
good.
movie, but I saw it after the hype, so
Yeah.
I was already going into it thinking this is gonna be the bee's knees, and it really was. So, but like I said, so left field for what we would consider an Oscar nomination.
Yeah.
So
I can't remember if we saw it before or after the nominations, but
I don't remember either. I know that I had wanted to see it even before that, just because I had heard a couple of people say that they enjoyed it. And I've really been trying to actually go see more foreign films in the theaters if I can get to them when they're around. And we just happened to find a screening
there was
that we could go to, and we watched it, and I really enjoyed it a lot.
So did I.
it's a great movie.
I thought it was a really good movie.
But like I said, that just kind of shows you literally anything can happen in
Yeah.
the director
Yeah, absolutely,
category.
the most crazy field.
That was last year. This year we have I think we have quite a crazy field. Let's start with to me, arguably, I think is the front runner. I might not be in agreement, but that's Noah Baumbach for Marriage Story. I feel like he is the front runner right now. I feel like he, to me, is someone. to me, Marriage Story has all the momentum going for it at the
Yeah.
moment. I can't see the Marriage Story train dropping off anytime soon.
Just because to me there hasn't been another film that's really come up to take it out. Like a
Yeah.
lot of the movies that were in the conversation to kind of take some of its momentum have come out and they've been good, but they're not really getting that kind of hype.
No one else is on the same level now, and so I'm fresh off Marriage Story. I literally saw it this afternoon, so probably about 7 hours ago I saw it. And the one thing I think it may not get is the director nom.
Really?
Yeah. I think Noah Baumbach has made a fantastic film. It's a brilliant movie, but that movie works so much so on those performances.
That's
If
fair.
you have anyone who's not Adam Driver, Scarlett Johansson, Laura Dern, any of the supporting cast, the movie may not work on the same level.
Okay.
Noah Baumbach's probably got these performances out of these guys by all means, and the screenplay is fantastic, the dialogue is fantastic, but there's just something lacking in how the movie's paced in certain points that I feel like he could definitely get nominated. I just don't see him winning potentially. But that's just me. That was me. I think that was coming from off the hype too.
Yeah, that's quite interesting because, like, I mean, to me, I've from day one thought, since Toronto basically, have thought, okay, Marriage Story is the film to beat.
Yeah. Brilliant movie, by the way. Sorry, it's
like,
almost a perfect 10 movie for me, but
there's always been something around, like, the only other competition is Scorsese for Irishman.
I agree. I 100%
for
agree.
me, and I feel like there is just that something around Irishman that just the 3.5 hours, I feel like is just something that could be a little too much for the Academy.
I feel like the critics have already eaten that up though. Because I think one of the main things, and I really hope, because I know you guys are seeing it tomorrow, I really hope you feel this as well, that the pacing, considering it's a 3.5 hour movie, is pretty damn good. And that's for me what separates Marriage Story and Irishman. I definitely see them both getting nominated. I'm pretty sure they're both shoo-ins for that. But what them going head to head, personally, my vote would go to Irishman. I'm definitely biased as well because I'm a big Scorsese fan, but that's just how I see that playing out at this point in time.
I wouldn't be surprised if neither of them get nominated.
Wow. Okay.
Just with how the field is this year.
Yeah,
I
that's
wouldn't
true.
be surprised at all if Marriage Story gets actor, actress, picture, something else,
Yeah.
and then doesn't get director, and then if Irishman gets an actor, maybe gets a best picture or gets some technical awards, and then just, I don't know. I just have this feeling that director category this year is going to be one of those categories that just you don't have your big names in it, and you just have, like, you have a Taika Waititi and you have a Greta Gerwig and you have where it's just very interesting. I don't know. I just have this gut thing.
Okay.
But then again, it's a year that I have no idea what's going to happen this year because it's
a weird year, and last year really shook, I think, a lot of people up, like in terms of just what happened with the Oscars. And it, the Oscars have always been fairly predictable in terms of, okay, we get to November, December, you kind of know who's going to be nominated. This, like, who the front runners are, who 3 of the 5. It's the last 2 that are always iffy, and you're trying to debate who those last 2 are going to get nominated. I can't say that about this year.
No.
This year has been there's maybe 1, maybe 2 that you'd be willing to put some money on.
Yeah.
But everyone else, you kind of go, we don't know. Like,
it's kind of just like a close your eyes and pick someone off the list. Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned it. The next one we can go to, Greta Gerwig for Little Women.
Yeah.
I've not heard a lot about Little Women.
I think it's only just starting to get screened in the States for critics.
I know that some critics... I know one critic who who has seen it was, it's good, not great.
Yeah, okay.
But I think the Academy love Greta. I mean, clearly with Lady Bird.
They ate that up.
They ate that movie up.
Great movie.
I think also she is a very, very strong contender this year in terms of, like, that we don't really have another massive female contender this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really, unless they're going to give Marielle
what I was going to say.
Marielle's
a nomination.
The more reviews that come out, though, for Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, the more I'm hearing it's it's a great movie to watch, but it's not at the caliber of Oscar that they wanted it to be, or at least compared to Can You Ever Forgive Me?
Yeah.
Which was definitely an Oscar caliber movie.
I'm still so sad about
That movie
I know. It was a
is so
snub.
criminally
it was
underrated.
so good. But touching on Greta Gerwig, I do think even if the movie comes out and it gets pretty good reviews, where people say it's pretty good, not great, like you said, we think the Academy is a big fan of her. You've got that ridiculous cast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Full of people that the Academy really seems to like.
Really love
For
these
the
up and
most part.
comers. Yeah. Your Chalamets
You've
and
got
your Roans.
you've got your period
Your Watsons.
piece.
yeah,
element.
Actually, yeah. It's
Like-
this is this year's the favorite almost. You know what I mean? Like the only period piece that's
Like-
sort of, yeah.
And it also has funny enough, it has one major giant thing that the Academy does love: husband and wives going up against each other.
Yeah,
Noah
true.
Baumbach
Yeah.
and Greta Gerwig going up against each
exes.
other. No, they're now together.
Are they back together again?
So Marriage Story is about
Them.
Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Oh, Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Yeah, that's who.
That makes sense.
yeah.
I was trying to figure out which one it was about.
Yeah, so
that sounds so bad.
Which
but I
is
was like-
which I mean, it's kind of funny if you think about it. It's like, hey, I'm making a movie about my ex.
yeah,
But hey, is what it is.
it works for the movie.
But I mean, hey, the Academy's shown that they do like doing that. So that could be something in its favor.
Yeah, right.
But my point, I guess, is there's a lot of movies this year that have that kind of stuff where you're like, well, it has this going for it, but you just don't know.
Yeah.
Like it.
I think every movie this year kind of has that X against it. So
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
3 or 4 things that are the big giant ticks. It's a period piece. It's it's about Hollywood. It's a Scorsese
Yeah,
film, but
that's-
then it's
yeah.
got the X, and then there's this big giant X that kind of has everyone a little hesitant about. It's 3.5 hours long. It's a Netflix film. It's there's something about every single one of these films and all of these directors, and I'm curious to see where we go from there.
If you had to put money on it right now, who you putting on?
As a
your-
betting man, what would you
Yeah.
Noah. I think Noah Baumbach.
No,
Yeah.
your list.
My
Not
list.
who's gonna
Okay,
win.
my list right now. My 5. I would go Noah, Martin. I have a feeling. Sight unseen. I'm going Sam Mendes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Without looking at my list, I'm now kind of just trying to be a bit more go gut feel. I have a feel. I do think Parasite will get nominated.
Okay.
I have
Bong Joon-ho,
Yeah,
yeah.
Bong Joon-ho. I have a feeling he will, and it's a toss up for me between Greta and Taika.
Right. Okay.
And right now I'm landing on Greta,
yeah.
but we see JoJo on Sunday, and
Yes.
I don't know.
I'm going to throw the T-Man in there. I'm going to throw Tarantino. I think the Academy are going to eat Hollywood
and that's
up.
but
That will be the one it gets nominated for.
I've started to come around on that a little bit more, where I've started to come around a little bit more that, okay, the Academy are going, it's a film about Hollywood.
It's the love letter to the 60s of Hollywood.
I don't see director. I see.
Okay.
The more and more I think about it, I see picture and supporting. They're the 2.
Yeah, okay.
I don't see writing.
No, neither do I. No.
Unless the original screenplay this year is a weak year, which I don't think it is.
No.
So
I know Adapted's pretty
Adapted
stacked.
Yeah,
Adapted is
it
stacked this
actually
year,
is.
but I think.
But that's for another podcast.
Yeah, I think unless original is a weaker year, it will get in. But supporting in picture, I think for some reason I just think I don't see Tarantino getting nominated this year.
Okay. Yeah, no, fair. You're the betting man, so I mean,
hey, I just put that on a podcast 2 months out before the Oscars, so
I can't wait for the black and white replay clip after
Yeah,
the
and
Oscars.
That I just play in slow motion. over
You know
again.
what? That could have been the most perfect thing, and then when 1917 comes out and it absolutely tanks or flops, I'm
Yeah,
just gonna be like,
imagine
imagine
if they don't pull it off.
A lot of my picks are going to be.
God, it looks so good.
It
Though.
does.
So
I know.
excited. Well, okay, well let's go through there. What would your 5 be?
Oh man, I don't even know. Okay. Well, this is your show, so
Yes,
I was,
that's fair.
trying to get your picks out of you. All right. If I had to just go with my gut right now, I would say I'm going to say Taika.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say all right, we'll say Taika, we'll say Greta.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to say Sam Mendes. I'll say to me it's one or the other. It's going to be Scorsese gets in or Tarantino gets in. I don't think they both do.
Yeah, I can see that.
And that's a tough one because I think I'm going to go with Scorsese gets in. And then we'll go with who's the last one that squeaks by. Part of me, for some reason, feels like Marriage Story is going to miss out when it comes to director. And I don't know why.
Yeah, okay.
But, like, even before you started talking about it,
It was just the one.
It was
that
just the one where
like,
I was
just
like,
dangling over
it'll
the
get
top,
everything else.
Yeah.
So it could be this year's
But-
Star is Born.
Yeah.
Where it walks out and you're going, yeah.
But I mean, I walked out of A Star Is Born going, Bradley Cooper directed the hell
See,
out of it.
I thought the directing of Star is Born was the weak point.
Okay, yeah.
Like to me, I'm glad he got actor instead of director
Right,
because I think
I don't think it was the strongest part of the movie, but
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
especially I thought majority of it worked, but the ending I think he just didn't handle the ending
Yeah, right.
particularly well.
But
Drew
no,
it.
I just feel like this directing category is going to break a lot of hearts in terms of
It does every year, like we've said.
it
It's
does.
one of the big names will get in, one will miss out, and then you'll have at least one or two of your Cold War nominations, I think,
Yeah.
where it's either the only nomination that it gets or it's, the one category that a movie will miss out on. And I know that isn't particularly unique to this year, but this year to me just feels like
It does feel like a weird year this year.
where I'm having a
I
really
agree.
hard time
Yeah.
even trying to narrow it down, just because even last year wasn't this hard for me.
No.
I had my solid couple of
Yeah.
picks that I was
Last year we had our solid and we had like the 2 or 3 that were like, please get in, please get in, please get in.
Yeah, for sure.
And then they didn't.
as usual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So where would your 5 be at the moment?
I go Scorsese. I think he definitely deserves the director nom just for pulling off this sort of feat. I do think Tarantino will get nominated. Just because of the praise it's getting. This is the one for me that I want to get in. I want Bong Joon-ho to get in. I really do. And after the Cold War nomination, it seems more possible.
Yes, absolutely.
If
But
there was
not
a year,
probable.
I think that's
It could happen.
more likely than picture.
Yes, I
me.
agree.
I think a
I
director
agree.
nom is more
I think
likely than
that'll be
picture.
the honorary. Like, you made such a great movie, so we're going to give you the nomination for director, and then we got these other ones there. So Scorsese, Tarantino, Bong Joon-ho. If he sneaks in there, I can see Noah Baumbach getting a nomination for it, because it's a fantastic movie. It's just his directing is not what you take away from the film.
Yeah.
And to slip into the number 5 spot out of everything, to me, it's that toss up between Mendes and Gerwig. Absolutely. And they're the ones that they're 2 completely different movies. War films always seem to get nominated. Period pieces always seem to get nominated.
Yeah.
So that one's the flip of a coin. It's just like the 50-50 shot. Right now, my heart is telling me Gerwig, but once 1917 comes out, and if it kills,
Yeah.
it's going to be Mendes.
Yeah. And 1917 is such a sight unseen. Like, no one has seen this film
That's
yet,
the
though.
scariest part.
I mean, there's a few others that I do want to mention that are possible, like sight unseens and also possibly sneaking in. But 1917 has Mendes is an Oscar darling. He is very much beloved in the Oscars.
And rightfully so.
Yeah.
American Beauty, Road to Perdition.
Exactly.
Brilliant movies.
And then there is the fact that the stories going around of this film that people are saying some people who have seen it are saying it is really good.
Yeah.
But again, it is sight unseen. We just
It's
know,
these
like,
people work for
exactly,
Universal and they've seen
like,
the
no
movie and
one's
they're trying to push it.
No critics have really seen this yet. It hasn't opened in the States. It is it's not that film that's premiering at AFI. But other films that I do just want to address. What do you think about the chances of Richard Jewell and Clint Eastwood?
Yeah, I mean, Clint is an Oscar darling.
Yep.
Not since American Sniper.
The reason why I feel this is different than The Mule last year is they're premiering at AFI.
Yeah, okay.
They've got confidence in this movie a bit more than...
Because The Mule got pushed back a fair.
Well,
I didn't really get pushed back, but it just had that weird release date. It
opened really late, and which Warner Brothers have done a lot for Eastwood movies, and then they've come in at the very end. I mean, American Sniper opened in technically January, and it
that's
made
right. Yeah,
huge amount. It made I think 99% of its money in 2014 for a 2013 film. So,
yeah, right.
2015 for a 2014 film. But anyway, I don't know. I just have the Richard Jewell there feels like there's something different about that film this year. I don't know why about that Clint Eastwood film. There just has this small possibility around it.
I mean, I felt and in saying that, I felt the same way about The Mule. It was the trailer. The Richard Jewell trailer was fantastic.
Yeah.
The Mule trailer was pretty damn good too.
Yeah.
1317 Paris, we don't even talk about that.
No, that movie.
Right from the trailer, we were like, we're not going to get the movie. This is promising. But, we did get a 10-minute scene of gelato taste testing in that. So, I mean, Oscar, where was it?
I mean...
Best gelato scene, Oscar? Why don't we have that yet?
I just, the fact that I'm even having to think about watching The Mule is just...
The Mule was tough to sit through. It's a cool premise. But it's the same movie every 10 minutes for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Sydney is a great movie. All right, so another one who...
Sorry, do you think Clint will get nominated then? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm saying I don't think... Again, it's a sight unseen.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
I mean, it's that he's a possibility that could come in, and who knows? AFI is in next week, so huge festival.
Yeah.
The last real festival before the Oscar season. So
and that's when we'll start seeing reviews.
So if people come out and go, whoa, Richard Jewell, guys, because the story is incredible. That's the thing. It's got a fantastic story.
Good cast.
Yeah. Again, though, he has had fantastic stories for the last 10 years, and he's delivered maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think... I thought American Sniper was trash.
It was very...
American Sniper did not work for me at all. But
it was better as a... Like, if you had not told me it was based on a true story, I'd be like, this is a pretty cool story that someone's made up.
Yeah.
But then...
Yeah.
I literally could not tell you anything about American Sniper. Like, I've seen it, but I couldn't tell you anything that actually...
I remember the trailer. I remember the scene in the movie
incredible.
With the trailer with sniping the kid.
Again, a Clint Eastwood movie with an incredible trailer, and Warner Brothers know how to market his films. Okay, so
It's an old black man.
Look, okay, I do want to talk about this one for you. This one's probably going to break your heart. Pedro for Pain and Glory.
I know. I want to see it.
I know.
So, well, okay, not just because I have a lot of love for that movie. That movie came in and stole like my number one spot almost for the whole year. Like that movie just really hit me when we watched it for a lot of reasons. But I think the directing in that movie is so passionate. Like you can just feel the story through the directing to me.
Yes.
Especially the way that the story's told. It's a very interesting way to wrap the story around and tell it. And I think, I don't know, I just think that when the directing really works in a movie, it really works, especially with a lot of the scenes that were as emotional as they were in that movie. And it's going to break my heart because I know he's not going to get the nomination. Yeah. It's just not going to happen. But I hope that the movie gets something.
The more and more, the closer we get, I think Antonio's getting it.
I really
think but
he was brilliant.
We'll talk about that next week.
But I do think, look, I mean, I don't think it's completely out of the realm of possibility. It's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's completely like To me, it's about where Cold War was.
I know.
In terms
Yeah.
of what the conversation actually
Yeah,
was about
what-
it
yeah.
getting nominated.
Yeah.
Which was,
Yeah.
there was none.
There was no chat outside of the realm of the Academy, obviously,
Yeah.
because they're the ones who voted for it.
So I'm not going to say it's completely
No.
improbable.
Yeah, I mean,
And
hey,
I
who-
would be the happiest person in the entire world other than
Oh my god,
the director
the
himself.
reaction,
Yeah.
the reaction for that is
The
gonna
live
be
stream.
That's gonna
insane.
tables flipping.
All right, I will bring this one up because I think there is no chance he gets nominated. And I'm kind of glad he won't. But Todd Phillips for Joker.
Yeah, look, I'm a Joker. I like Joker a lot.
Yeah,
I think the second time I watched it, I saw the flaws in the movie a little bit more. And regardless of like what people think, like he's obviously made some comments that
yeah, and
to me, and this is what I think about Todd Phillips, I don't think that's out of character for him as a person. So I just took that as like just water off a duck's back. I was just like, you're just saying shit because you like to be the guy who says shit,
Yeah.
whatever. But the strongest parts of the Joker weren't
no.
Todd Phillips influenced. So
I'd put Pedro as a higher chance than
I would agree with that.
For me, and it's more outside. It's completely ignoring all the comments, completely ignoring all of that.
Yeah.
I just think the strength of that film is the performance, and I think that that if that film does get recognized for anything, it will be the performance.
I
Yeah.
think cinematography and performance.
Sorry,
Cinematography
is
brilliant.
yes.
Yeah.
I think
Brilliant.
cinematography has a very strong chance
Like
as well.
that, honestly, as much as I am a naysayer of all things involving that movie, if it got nominated for cinematography, I would be like, yeah.
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 Yeah,
If they go for 10 pictures and if it gets like that 9 or 10 spot, I wouldn't be surprised either, because
Yeah.
it's, to me, it was a good enough movie to be in the realm of talking about some of the best movies that have come out this year, just in the fact that it made such a cultural impact. It was a well-made movie,
Yeah.
and it had an outstanding performance. It has that recipe
to me,
there.
yeah. If Endgame hadn't come out this year,
Yeah.
I would be going, okay,
That's
that can have
The best comic book movie of the year,
not even that, like
Okay.
the film with the impact. So the one
Right.
that transcended film
Yeah.
into the pop culture and the
Yeah.
way and the discussion about pop culture
Yeah.
this year. And I think Endgame, I feel like did that.
Endgame trumped that.
Yeah,
and that's like,
but I think Joker is a very close second in that, just because you just go online, and not for the toxic side of it, but more like the stares, the
memes.
like people.
the movie is memes.
like
to death.
exactly. People are talking about it.
It's made almost $1 billion.
Yeah.
Like that's no one thought that was going to happen.
Exactly.
I actually thought, even after watching it, so I got to see it a week early, and I even walked out going like, no one's going to watch this movie. Like, it is not an easy movie to watch. It is Taxi Driver for the 21st century. And then I was just like, oh
Yeah.
people like this.
Yeah. But to me, I don't think Todd Phillips gets nominated. I just think
No.
that there's. I don't think the film is directed well enough.
Yeah.
To justify it. I
Yeah.
think that without the performance, the film just doesn't work at all. Like, I think that if you don't have that performance,
Yeah.
the anchoring that film,
Yeah.
the directing isn't strong enough to take you on that story.
And because he did the script as well, I feel like the story of Joker is perfectly fine for the movie. There's so many elements that I'm like, this could get taken out, but if it didn't get taken out, we wouldn't have the descent to madness, whatever. Like the whole like B plot of him trying to find out if Thomas Wayne's his dad and stuff.
Yeah.
To me, I didn't really care about, because I was so fixed on Joaquin being the Joker. So I agree. I think the beats as a movie that Todd Phillips put in isn't worthy of going up against 5 other people who have made outstanding films this year.
And we kind of mentioned her before, but Marianne Heller,
Yeah.
I just don't see it this year, unfortunately, for her.
Look, I mean,
What a movie to do.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Especially following
Like-
off Won't You Be My Neighbor.
Oh, exactly.
Getting
And-
snubbed as well.
Yes,
well,
absolutely.
and that's the other thing I think it has going against it. If the Academy wasn't going to nominate the documentary,
Yeah.
to me, even like if it gets anything, it's Tom Hanks and Matthew Reese.
Yeah, Matthew Reese. If
would be
yeah,
what gets it.
What gets
like,
through, yeah.
It's just, there just hasn't been enough conversation about it anywhere,
And
really.
it opens next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
And-
it opens. Oh yeah, Thanksgiving's next week, or is it the week after? Actually, I think it's the week after.
No, it's the week after.
Okay, so it opens.
So it's a
in 2
November
weeks.
release in the US.
Yeah,
though.
it opens Thanksgiving, so
Which is
2 weeks.
Like, yeah, yes.
And we get it.
January.
January.
Welcome
Australia Day weekend.
Yep.
Good fun.
Yep.
Oh, just in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you going to do after getting absolutely blitzed for a day celebrating our country? Let's go watch Tom Hanks's Mr. Rogers. Good one. I'm not going to mention company because I actually like the person who deals with us. But great work, Australia side of that.
Yes. Well, it's going to be
That weekend is
interesting.
that movie is going to be the third most important thing that weekend. So
Oh man.
Poor Marielle Heller.
I know.
Awesome director. She directed the hell out of Can You Ever Forgive Me?
I
Can you-
still that movie
I think it's
still
the
breaks
fourth
my
time
heart.
this podcast we've said
It's
criminally
still-
underrated.
it's-
but
It
it
is
is.
because
so
it is. It is such a good
The
film.
fact that there wasn't a director nomination and 2 acting nominations
Yeah.
at least.
Well, I mean,
At
the
least.
fact that he didn't win Best Supporting.
I know.
That
Yeah,
to
I
me,
know.
like
Yeah.
I will as good as
He was actually, I think he was possibly
He would have been
my
s-
favorite
yeah.
performance of last year as a supporting
As a
actor.
as
supporting-
good as
Oh, yeah.
Mahershala was in Green Book.
Oh,
Like he, but that's the thing. He is really good in Green Book.
Yeah.
But
for the type of movie Green
exactly.
Book is.
But
he's
Richard
really
E.
good.
Grant
Yeah.
goes to another level. Like
Yeah.
Richard E. Grant.
To me,
Just isn't-
Mahershala in that movie is Mahershala. Like it,
Yeah.
like he's kind of acting to me, but like then you look at Richard E. Grant and you go,
Who was the character I saw?
Whoa.
Yeah,
Like-
absolutely. Yeah.
wow, that's a journey that he's going on in that movie. But anyway, before this turns into a Can You Ever Forgive Me podcast, because I will do it. I will happily do it.
Premiering right after Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got a lot on your plate at the moment,
these
Taylor.
ideas are fire, okay?
I love
So-
that Marielle Heller's married to Jorma Taccone from The Lonely Island too. That I just love that. I love that the guy who is famous for being one of the internet's biggest idiots in the best way possible is married to someone with such esteem as Marielle Heller.
You know, the world sometimes is just a beautiful place.
Yep.
Hollywood is
Yep.
just a whole nother planet, you know?
But I mean, right now, I think have we got any locks for Best Director? I don't think we do.
No.
I don't think any of us are confident to decide on one
On
between
one
us.
person
Yeah.
who is
Not
an
on
absolute
one,
lock.
not on a single nomination.
I-
My
right now.
personal lock is Scorsese, but I know.
I
where
mean,
he
look,
sits
we'll
at
see.
the moment
We
with
will
the Netflix stuff.
Yeah, and that's to me is I'm not comfortable
Yeah.
just yet. Who knows when we get closer after the Golden Globes come out? If
That's-
that,
yeah.
the Globes and
The Globes are a little bit more liberal, though. They're happy to like bring things on board and try new things.
the Globes and the PGA. The PGA
Yeah.
nominations are going to be the big one.
That'll
If Noah. If Tarantino gets a PGA, I probably would start to go, okay, he's
Yeah.
probably getting a nomination. Like,
My problem with Tarantino is I don't know where Hollywood actually really stands with him on this movie yet, is my problem.
yeah.
yeah,
Because
where the
it's been
Oscars do.
really, his reviews critically have been really hit and miss. Not just fans, like critically speaking.
Yeah.
And even though it is a love letter to Hollywood, I mean, so was A Star Is Born.
Yeah.
Like, and I know that that was a remake of a remake of a remake, but if we're going on the idea that the Academy loves love letters to Hollywood,
It's not like a strong enough foundation.
Not
at this
anymore,
point.
apparently.
Yeah.
And I mean, there was a lot of controversy around Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
A lot of controversy in just the way it handled Manson, the way it handled Sharon Tate.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
I think handled it as well in what they were building it up to be, and that's
Exactly,
the worst part.
yeah.
If we had known going in that this is just like a buddy comedy about two guys just gallivanting through Hollywood.
Which he did try. That's the thing. He tried to
Yeah.
sell it like that. When he first announced it, he went, "This is not the Manson. This is
Yes.
not me doing Manson. I
Yes.
am not doing Manson.
That's just it's set during
It's
this
set-
time. Yeah.
I'm doing a movie set in 1969 in Hollywood. you cannot not address Manson.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And to be fair, none of the trailers sold it as a Manson movie.
There's always just one shot of Manson in all the
But
trailers.
they never
And
mention
there's
a
one-
name.
No,
Like,
that's it. Yeah.
The movie doesn't even really mention it. It just mentions
It has,
Charlie.
it has that one scene and they call him Charlie.
Yeah, and that's it.
yeah.
That's
But the marketing,
yeah.
like to the
Yeah.
studio's credit, didn't make it look like
True.
it
Yeah.
was a Manson movie.
It's our fault.
Yeah, well,
It is a little
really
bit.
is.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the way we talked about it. Everyone talked about it as the Manson movie. Like everyone
Yeah.
talked about it as and hey, Margot Robbie is playing Sharon Tate. Like
Yeah.
that's everyone was jumping on that,
Well,
especially here.
I think it has a lot to do with what the early reporting was from media, because a lot of the articles I read before it even really started filming was they have a Sharon Tate casted and they have a Charles Manson casted, and that was really all that anyone was writing
Really
about.
cared
Well,
about, yeah.
at first, everyone thought Leo was playing Manson.
Right.
That was
Right.
the rumor.
Oh, right.
that
Oh, I remember that
when,
actually. Yeah, yeah.
When the rumor was Leo was in this film. Like Leo was the first one they were going to get. Then Brad, and Margot was playing Sharon. And Margot playing Sharon was always known. Like that
Yeah.
was that's most likely going to happen.
Yeah.
And then so everyone naturally assumed Leo was playing Manson.
Yeah, okay.
And Tarantino was going to do the Manson, but
Yeah.
that's not what he did. So it's
It's interesting.
It
It'll-
is.
To me, that's I think going to be the most fascinating for me is to see what the Academy does with that
Yes.
movie, because they the way that they regard Tarantino in terms of awards and nominations has been interesting throughout the years.
I know. I mean, look at Hateful Eight.
Right.
Yeah.
Hateful Eight got completely looked over, and I think
Yeah.
Hateful Eight is a much better film than Once Upon a Time. I
yeah.
think Hateful Eight is one of his better films.
Yeah, I had the same reaction to Hateful Eight that I did to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I didn't love it at first, and then on the rewatch, I was like, "Oh, I get what you're doing now." Like my own sort of blindness to what you were trying to do. So, but that's the tough part.
Yeah.
With the Academy, they will most likely only watch the movie once, and
Yeah.
if that's your initial reaction, then I can
Then,
understand
yeah.
it.
But yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for checking this one out. We will see you next week when we talk about and break down Best Actor.
Ooh.
Very excited for that one. I want to thank my special guests, Taylor and Nick. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And until next time, guys, we'll see you then.